So today's practical is study of rigid Rapier weaving machine. So already you know that what is Rapier. The Rapier is weft insertion system. We are inserting the Rapier from both the side and they are meeting at the center and they are exchanging the weft. But the type is what? Rigid Rapier. So in the first practical we have seen what is flexible Rapier. So it was what? Flexible tape winding and unwinding of the tape was there. And here rigid means what? A rigid rod will be there going from both the sides into the shed. Okay, so that's why it is called as what? Rigid Rapier. So this is what the rigid Rapier. So we'll see one by one the elements, how the rigid Rapier is working. That also we'll see. So here first is what? Cones. Here cone will be there as a package. After that we will be having a weft brake. It between these two accumulator will be there, but accumulator is not shown in the figure. So first is what? Weft supply package. Second will be the accumulator. Then the weft brake will be there to control the tension in the weft. In the weft direction, we require weft brake. Then third is what? Weft stop motion. Okay, so weft stop motion. That is what optical sensor is there. When the weft is not present, the machine will what? Stop. Then fourth is what? Weft feeder, or it is also called as what? Selector. Weft selector. Okay. So weft feeder or selector. So in the figure we can see here how much selectors are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Means 4 different colors we can insert in the weft direction. Okay, 4 different colors we can insert in the weft direction, and it is called as what? Weft patterning. ओके वेफ्ट पैटर्निंग. तो चार अलग अलग कलर हम वेफ्ट में इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं. तो जो भी वेफ्ट सिलेक्टर सिलेक्ट होगा वो डाउन आएगा. सब दिस इज डाउन नाउ. So here this is what down. This weft is selected. It will come in the path of the what? Rapier. It will come in the path of the rapier, and that weft will be gripped by the gripper, and the weft will be inserted. So weft selector. So I have told you in the rapier it may up to 8 selectors we can use. So up to 8 different colors or 8 different fancy wefts we can use in the weft direction. Next we are having here left hand rapier. So left hand rapier. So this is what a rod you can see. So here the rod is there, and front part is called as what? Gripper or rapier head, which holds the weft. This front part is called as what? Rapier head. So left hand rapier head is there. Left hand rapier head and left hand rod is there. So altogether this is called as what? Rapier. So rigid rod is entering the shade. When the shade is opened, and whichever the selector is selected, that weft it is gripped by the what? Gripper. Front part is called as what? Gripper. ग्रीपर को रैपियर हेड भी बोलते हैं. तो लेफ्ट हैंड रैपियर हेड एंड राइट हैंड रैपियर हेड विल बी देयर, एंड बैक पार्ट इज व्हाट? रॉड. So here the weft will be gripped by the left hand rapier. तो weft grip किया हमने, and here at this sixth position is what? Cutter. So here we can see cutter is also there. Here the cutter is there. You can see cutter. So this is what a cutter, left hand rapier and right hand rapier. This is what a right hand rapier. So see here, this was the first figure. Okay, first figure, and we have seen all the elements in the figure now. Now next figures here. Next, the weft is gripped by the left hand rod. हाँ, लेफ्ट हैंड रैपियर. तो लेफ्ट हैंड रैपियर में क्या है, रैपियर रॉड एंड आगे वाला पार्ट है हेड या क्लैम बोलते हैं, ग्रिपर बोलते हैं. तो ग्रिपर वेफ्ट होल्ड करके सेंटर तक आया है, अप टू द सेंटर ऑफ द फैब्रिक, एंड दिस हैज केम व्हाट, एम्प्टी. ओके, and now right hand rapier will what happens, the weft is exchanged from giver to what, taker. Okay, giver क्या करेगा, टेकर को वेफ्ट देगा, और टेकर क्या करेगा, वेफ्ट लेके receiving side जाएगा. So we know that this is what picking side and this is what receiving side. So the weft will come up to this point and it will be exchanged here at the center, and it will be what happened, it will taken to the what, receiving side. So receiving side आने के बाद क्या होगा, what will happen, the weft will be released by the right hand rapier head. So right hand gripper will leave the weft, and as it leaves, the suction is there to catch the weft. Okay, suction will be there, and the beat up of the fabric will take place, beat up of the weft will take place. So here rigid means what, here rigid rod is there. We are using left hand rod and right hand rod. We are using left hand gripper is there and right hand gripper is there, and all together is, this is called as what, rapier. So left hand rapier and right hand rapier. So this is what the rigid rapier. Okay. Amarjit Dudade.
Yes, sir.
So according to you, what is mean by rigid rapier? You can explain in any language to me.
Sir, it is an rapier which is connected to a rigid rod and which is used for inserting the weft.
So why it is called as rigid?
Because sir, it is connected to a rigid rod.
Rigid rod is there. Here bendable rod is not there. This is what, rigid rod is there. Okay, good. So here the telescope will be there like this. Okay, at the both the side of the loom, telescope will be there. This rod will go in the telescope like this. So more the space will be required for the rigid rapier. जितना इधर space है उतना ही इधर space लगेगा, क्योंकि 60 इंच width है. So this is what a 60 inch width. तो rod length right hand side 30 inch will be there, and here the 30 inch will be there. So 30 inch it will go in the telescope. So this much 30 inch length is required at the both the side of the loom. That's why the space required for rigid rapier is what, more. Here once again I will explain you this concept. So this is what a 60 inch width is there. Fabric width is 60 inch. So the rod is coming up to the center. This rod is coming up to the center 30 inch. So outside it required 30 inch. It will go out of the selvage 30 inch. Okay, so 30 inch here length is required, and here 30 inch length is required. So जितना फैब्रिक का विड्थ लगेगा रहेगा उतना डबल विड्थ छोड़ना पड़ेगा लूम के लिए. तो more space is required for this machine than the what, flexible rapier, because in the flexible rapier the tape is bending and it is wounded here only like this. Winding and unwinding is there. Okay, so this is there. So this is called as what, rigid rapier. So here we can see selector will come down whichever the weft want, and this rapier grips the weft. Okay, तो इधर opener रहेगा. So whatever the rapier head is there or gripper is there, you have to open that gripper. To hold this weft you have to open the what, gripper. Okay, rapier head को open करना पड़ता है उसको. तो external opener is there here at left hand side, and the rapier will be opened. That is what, rapier head will be opened. It grips the weft and it comes up to the center. Okay, and this also will come up to the center. At the center also we are having the openers. Okay, we can see the opener. Here is the opener. Okay, this is what left hand opener, this is what right hand opener. तो ये वेफ्ट लेके आया है, लेफ्ट हैंड रैपियर वेफ्ट लेके आया है, तो इसको अभी एक्सचेंज करना है इसको. Okay, here we have to exchange to this rapier. So here what is happening here, first, this is what left hand, this is what right hand. So here first right hand opener is opened. Rapier head को opener भी बोलते हैं अपन. So here we are opening this first. Okay, right hand opener open condition में insert करेंगे. जैसे ही दोनों रैपियर पीछे जा रहा है ये ओपन करेंगे, लेफ्ट हैंड ओपन करेंगे, उसके बाद लेफ्ट हैंड ओपन करेंगे. So right hand is going inside in open stage, and while coming back this is closed. Right hand is closed and left hand is open. Why left hand is open? Because it has to release weft. Means what I am telling here, at the center we are having openers. Okay, at the center we are having the openers. Okay, अभी वेफ्ट एक्सचेंज हो गया. एक्सचेंज होने के बाद जब वेफ्ट लेके जाएगा ये राइट हैंड रैपियर, तो राइट हैंड रैपियर ओपन करने के लिए इधर भी क्या है, एक्सटर्नल ओपनर्स है. Here at the center we are having external openers. So here additional openers are required to open the rapier heads. Rapier head बोलते हैं अपन, रैपिड ग्रिपर बोलेंगे या क्लैम बोलेंगे. ओके, तो टू ओपन दिस वी रिक्वायर राइट हैंड opener we required, and at the center openers we required, and the right hand we require what, right hand opener. So left hand opener, center opener. तो इधर एक्सटर्नल ओपनर्स लग रहा है अपने को. That's why this rigid rapier is called as what, positive rapier. Rigid rapier is called as what, positive rapier, and flexible rapier is called as what, negative rapier. So here openers are required at the left hand side. क्लैम का मुंह ओपन करने के लिए, टू ओपन द माउथ ऑफ दिस क्लैम वी रिक्वायर हियर ओपनर, एंड व्हेन इट कम्स फॉरवर्ड ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल बी क्लोज्ड. ओके, पहले ओपन करने के लिए, जॉ ओपन करने के लिए इधर ओपनर लगेगा, फिर सेंटर में आएगा. सेंटर में भी क्या हो रहा है, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग एट द सेंटर, दिस इज ओपन फर्स्ट बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट एम्प्टी, नो, राइट हैंड इज एम्प्टी. दिस इज ओपन फर्स्ट and it goes inside this, and while coming out this is open and this is closed. So weft is exchanged from this point to this end. So external openers is there to open the what, gripper. That's why this rapier is called as what, positive rapier. In flexible rapier we are not having any openers. Automatically weft is gripped, automatically it is transferred from giver to taker, and when the weft goes to the receiving side automatically it is released. No external any opener is required in the flexible rapier, but in the rigid rapier we require the what, openers. So I'll be showing you the video and then more it will be clear. Okay, so see the warpway passage, what is there in the warpway. See carefully what are the elements in the warpway. So you can see same as earlier I had told you, there is the passage of warpway from plain loom to any shuttleless loom. It is what, same. So here we are using what, beam. Here the backrest is there, warp stop motion is there, hill frame is there. From back of the loom to the front we are coming. Reed is there, the temples are there, then cloth support will be there, then take up roller, and this is what, cloth roller. So this passage is fixed for all the looms. It may be any loom, flexible rapier, rigid rapier, air-jet rapier, projectile rapier, और plain loom, auto loom, सब के लिए ये passage same है. Okay, so only change I have told you is what, weft way is the change. Okay, so weft way there is a change. So again here creel is there to hold the weft package, then accumulator to store the weft and to maintain the uniform tension in the weft, Then brake is there again to reduce the slackness between accumulator and the weft selector. We are having what brake. Then guide is there. That is what guide is what weft stop motion is there. Then weft selector fingers are there. Whichever the finger comes down in the path of the rapier, that weft is what selected. Then left hand rapier is there, and then we are having right hand rapier. So write down this weft wave passage. So next we will see the loom in our workshop. That is which type of rigid rapier we are having. We are having Dornier. So only one manufacturer comes in this rigid rapier. That is what Dornier. No other manufacturers are there in the rigid rapier manufacturing. Even Chinese looms are not there. Only one manufacturer is there for the manufacturing of this rigid rapier. That is what Dornier. So Dornier, then the Dornier model is what PTS model it is. Dornier PTS model. So we can view the fabric up to width 220 centimeter. ओके तो 220 सेंटीमीटर विड्थ तक फैब्रिक हम ये डॉर्नियर व्यूइंग मशीन के ऊपर व्यू कर सकते हैं. एंड वेफ्ट इंसर्शन रेट इज व्हाट 1100 meters per minute means what 1133, that is approximately 1100 meters per minute. In 1 minute we can insert weft by the cone. That is what 1100 meters per minute we can insert in what 1 minute. So how we got this? I told you in the last practical. How we got this? That is WIR is equal to what? Width into RPM of the machine. Okay, RPM of the machine. Width into RPM of the machine. Then weft color up to 8 colors we can go. Our machine we are having 8 fingers up to 8 selectors. Weft selectors we are having. Beam diameter 800 mm. So 800 mm वाला beam diameter है अपना. Up to that much length weft is wound on this. Okay, weft is wound. So I told you 200 mm is the what plain loom diameter, but here we are going up to what 800 mm. Then see here, let off and take off is electronic. So individual motors are there for all the motions, and shading is here. Stobli Dobby is there. So Stobli is a company. Okay, Italian company or European manufacturer. So Dobby comes of what? Stobli. Okay, machine manufacturer is what? Stobli. Then power required to the machine is what? 6.2 kilowatts. So total or whatever the motors are there, their complete power required is what? 6.2 kilowatt hour. Then peak spacing from 4 to 75 picks per centimeter we can insert the weft. यानी 4 ppc से 4 ppc in 1 inch. Okay, 4 picks in 1 centimeter. Okay, up to what 75 picks per centimeter. So that much pick spacing range is there. So from the control panel we can change the picks per centimeter. If you want to change the picks per centimeter or picks per inch on the plane loom, you have to change what? Change pinion. Here the loom is electronic, no need to change this PPI through the gears. From the control panel, you insert what? 1 meter of 60 PPI, 1 meter of what? 100 PPI. Automatically that machine will be let off and take off will be adjusted. Here no require of change pinion. Okay, that is what pick spacing. Total 5 motors are required for this. Main motor, slow speed motor, take up motor, let off motor, and suction motor. Lino motor is what? Optional. So I have told in the last practical, this is what a fabric width. Okay, at the selvage we require lino. Okay, lino view is required. 2 threads lino. Here also 2 thread lino. Okay, so separate motors will be there, small left hand lino and right hand lino. So this is what all about the rigid rapier we are having, the specification of rigid rapier which we have in our workshop. And this is what a sturdy machine. The frame of the machine is sturdier than the what? Flexible rapier. Okay, so heavy duty yarns we can run in our workshop. We are running Kevlar yarn of what? Two number count, दो count चला रहे अपन. So very heavy fabric with what? 16 picks per inch, 16 picks per inch maximum insert कर सकते हैं अपन 2 count का. So heavy duty fabric can be worn on this, and also very fine yarn also can be worn. Why? Because here guiding is positive, means what? It is what? Positive rapier. Positive openers are there to open the what? Rapier head. Okay, so in the case of rigid rapier, this we are not having. So as we are inserting the rod in the fabric, the speed of the machine will be less. Earlier the rod were what? Very heavy. Okay, iron rods were there, but now it is what? Composite rod, fiber composite rod, fiber reinforced composite rod, fiber और plastic material से बनाया हुआ rod. तो weight of the rod is also very less. दोनों साइड का rod मिला के 10 किलो भी नहीं है, 7 kilos are there. Okay, very lightweight rods will be there going inside and coming outside. So first we'll see the. So this was the drive diagrams here. तो 5 motor configuration we have seen. 5 motors है इसमें, तो कहाँ कहाँ कैसे ड्राइव गया देखो. So this is what our main motor. Main motor goes drive to the what? Main shaft. Main shaft. On the main shaft, other hand side, shading device is there. That is what? Stobly device is there. Okay, Stobly, Dobby is there. Okay. Here we are having left hand gearbox to drive your rapier. तो rapier कैसा है? Gear रहता है और ये rod रहता है. Underside of rod is meshing with the gear teeth. तो gear. Okay, तो gearbox. तो ये गियर मेशिंग क्या होता है? ये क्लॉकवाइज और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज गियर रोटेट होता है, तो अपना रॉड अंदर और बाहर होता है. ओके, टू गिव दिस ड्राइव वी आर हैविंग लेफ्ट हैंड गियर बॉक्स इधर है एंड राइट हैंड गियर बॉक्स इधर है. तो रैपियर इन आउट करने के लिए ड्राइविंग मैकेनिज्म लगेगा. तो दिस इज ऑन द मेन शाफ्ट. ओके, so this is what left hand gearbox, right hand gearbox. This is what shading drive. On this main shaft again there is a sleigh drive. यहाँ से ही sleigh को जाएगा. ये देखो sleigh cams है. Okay, the sleigh is moving forward and backward. From here only the drive has gone to the opener. Center में दो openers है ना, left hand and right hand को open करने के लिए. तो इधर से ही drive जा रहा है openers के लिए. So this was our main motor configuration. Okay, main motor drive. Next year, second motor is slow speed motor. Slow speed means what? Here the clutch will be there. जब whenever the machine you have to run in the slow speed, one peak forward or one peak backward, the clutch get disengaged here. The clutch disengage होता है the drive to the main shaft is disengaged from the main motor, और ये स्लो स्पीड से ड्राइव मिलेगा, स्लो स्पीड मोटर से मेन शाफ्ट ड्रिवन होगा अगर वन पिक आगे या पीछे लेना है, तो दिस इज व्हाट अ स्लो स्पीड मोटर इज देयर. ओके, द कनेक्शन फ्रॉम द मेन मोटर इज डिस्कनेक्टेड बाय द क्लच, क्लच डिसएंगेजेस, तो इसका ड्राइव नहीं पास होगा, खाली स्लो स्पीड का ड्राइव मेन शाफ्ट को जाएगा. तो मेन शाफ्ट इज रोटेटेड क्लॉकवाइज एंड एंटी क्लॉकवाइज वन पीक और टू पीक फॉरवर्ड एंड बैकवर्ड. ओके, बाय द स्लो स्पीड. अगर मशीन स्लो स्पीड में चलाना है तो स्लो स्पीड मोटर से ही उसको ऑपरेट करना पड़ेगा, इंचिंग बोलते हैं, इंचिंग स्पीड. ओके, सो दीज आर द टू मोटर्स. देन थर्ड इज व्हाट, टेकअप मोटर. ये टेकअप रोलर को गया है, उधर से क्या है, क्लॉथ रोलर को गया है. सो दिस इज व्हाट अ टेकअप रोलर इज देयर. देन नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट, लेट ऑफ मोटर. तो लेट ऑफ मोटर है, तो बिग बीम के लिए बिग गियर कनेक्टेड है, बिग गियर. ओके, तो हियर बीम flanges will be there, and at the side of the pipe big gear is there. It is driven by the pinion of the let off motor. So total 4 motors we have seen: main motor, slow speed motor, take up motor, and let off motor. Okay, so fifth motor is suction motors. Here suction, so here same is there. When from picking to receiving side, when the pick is inserted, इधर पिक छोड़ना है रैपियर, राइट हैंड रैपियर पिक छोड़ेगा, तो जब छोड़ेगा तो सक्शन उसको होल्ड करके रखना चाहिए. सक्शन पाइप वो पिक को होल्ड करके रखता है जब तक बीटअप नहीं होगा. तो वी रिक्वायर हियर सक्शन मोटर. सो दीज आर दी व्हाट 5 मोटर्स: मेन मोटर, लेट ऑफ मोटर, टेकअप मोटर, पिक फाइंडिंग मोटर, एंड पिक फाइंडिंग यानी उसको बोलते हैं स्लो स्पीड मोटर एंड सक्शन मोटर. So this is what a driving mechanism. For every motion we are having a separate motor over here. So this was the what driving mechanism. So this was our practical of the what rigid rapier. So we have seen rigid rapier passage. Why it is positive rapier we have seen, or positive gripper or positive rapier we have seen. Why it is rigid we have seen. What is the warpway passage, webway passage, specification of rapier and drive, and we have seen what how the rapier is operating. Okay.